Still Speak podcast, I'm bringing you a story of a young woman just 22 years old who went missing under mysterious circumstances recently after embarking on a cross-country road trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. Her name is Gabby Petito, Petito. She's originally from the Blue Point area of Long Island, New York. Gabby had moved to Northport, Florida, which is in western Florida, just 2 years ago because of her boyfriend at the time, who later turned into her fiancé, Brian. Her father, Joseph, moved from Long Island to Vero Beach to be near his daughter just this past June of 2021. Gabby is 5'5" tall and 110 pounds. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, and she has a triangle tattoo with flowers inside of the triangle on one arm and another tattoo that says "Let It Be" on the other arm, and she also has a belly button piercing. Gabby and Brian produced a web series on YouTube to showcase and feature their cross-country trip they took in a van, and the YouTube channel is called Nomadic Static, and that is spelled Nomadik and then Static, Static. The couple had converted a white 2012 Ford Transit van, and it has Florida plates, and the plate number is QFTGO3. However, as I proceed to tell you this story, you will learn that the van has been accounted for, as has her fiancé, Brian, unfortunately without Gabby. And the van was located rather quickly after she had been reported missing. So people need to be on the lookout for Gabby and not this van. So the couple left on a cross-country excursion after Gabby had flown to New York on June 17th to attend her brother's high school graduation. She left from there on July 2nd to start on this journey with her fiancé, Brian. And the couple's first stop was to Florida, which is where they lived. On July 5th, they arrived at Kansas Monument Rock. On July 8th, the couple were in Colorado Springs, Colorado. On July 10th, they were at the Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado. I won't lie, this gave me a minor chill because Chris Watts and his mistress, Nicole Kessinger, had visited the dunes in July of 2018, so just 3 years prior to this couple. But also, what is it about Colorado being connected to so many recent cases? In addition to the Watts case, we had Patrick Frazee and Kelsey Barrett, and the Gannon Stout case with the stepmom Letitia, and we had Suzanne and Barry Morphew, and there's a few others too. And then, of course, there's the infamous, mysterious death of JonBenet Ramsey. Is it the mountains? The altitude? I mean, what is it? Goodness, it certainly doesn't make me want to visit Colorado anytime soon. Now, she did not go missing from Colorado as far as we know, but she did visit there prior to her disappearance, so that's how she's connected to Colorado. On this same day that they visited the dunes, Gabby wrote on her Instagram account, quote, "After going on our first road trip cross-country in my tiny car, we felt there was so much we missed. Turning this Ford Transit essentially into a camper was such an adventure in itself, but I could not love the way it turned out more," unquote. After visiting the sand dunes on the 10th, Gabby posted, quote, "All the places it's brought us so far have been amazing. As soon as we got to the Great Sand Dunes, I didn't want to leave there. There was so many places to hike," unquote. They were in Zion National Park on July 16th, and Gabby in an Instagram post said on the same day, quote, "The past 2 nights camping in Zion have been so cool, literally. We hiked up here in about 100-degree weather, and it was so nice coming back to our campsite, watching the sky fill with dark clouds and view the lightning storm in the nice cool air of the light rain," unquote. On the 20th of July, they were at Cedar Breaks. On the 21st of July, they were at Bryce Canyon National Park. On the 26th of July, they were at Mystic Hot Spring. On July 30th, they were at Canyonlands National Park, Mesa Arch. On 8/12, so now 2 weeks after that, they were at Arches National Park. On 8/13, a pic was posted by Gabby of their next location, which was to be Moab, Utah. On either the 23rd or the 24th, her mother said that she did FaceTime with her daughter, so she did physically see her then. On 8/24, she was last seen on surveillance camera checking out of a hotel in Salt Lake City, Utah. And they had said that they left Salt Lake City because of heavy wildfire smoke. On 8/25 is when the family spoke to Gabby for the last time, but it was on the phone only. There was no pic or video of her. Gabby had told her family she was in Grand Teton, I think that's how you say it, Teton, National Park in Wyoming. The couple had planned to visit Yellowstone, which is not far from this location, but Gabby never made it there. Between the 27th and 30th of August, texts were received by Gabby, and now it is believed that it may have not even been Gabby, since they did not see her or hear her. It was only through text. And this is when it all falls apart. Sometime around this time frame, Brian Laundrie returned to Florida without Gabby. To make it worse, he lawyered up immediately and is refusing to cooperate. But like I said, they have located the van. Gabby's mother could not give details, but said it was unclear when he actually returned, meaning the exact day. But she was wondering what he did when he got back, and who, if anyone, did he tell that Gabby had disappeared on their journey. September 11th is when her mother, Nicole Smith, had reported her missing. Her father, Joe, recently said, quote, "This is like drowning with your hands tied behind you," unquote. He continued, quote, "I can't describe it. There's nothing you can do, and you can't control anything," unquote. He also said his daughter was a very, very free-spirited girl, and that clothes or cars did not impress her. But, experiences did. Gabby did have future plans on this journey and was set to meet up with a family friend around Halloween in Oregon. Since her disappearance, her family has launched a GoFundMe. They also started a social media campaign on Facebook that's called Find Gabby, where a number of national park visitors have claimed to recognize the pair's van and have called in what they know or what they had seen. Anyone with information is told to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-220-TIPS or the police department at 1-800-220-8477, and the case number is #21/473-289. If you are located in any of the states mentioned or visited any of these national parks the same times as Gabby and Brian did and recall anything or know anything, please call immediately. Also, check your photos or your videos to see if you can see the couple in the background of any of them. You never know. You may actually hold the key that cops need, and you may not even know it. A close friend of the couple who wishes to remain anonymous told Fox News that all of the couple's friends are stunned by her disappearance. She said, quote, "My friends and I are just as confused and shocked as everyone else and still trying to piece together everything that has happened so far," unquote. And she, shared that they had rekindled an old friendship in 2018 that they had while living on Long Island from when they were, madly in love prior. Now, this next part is not for the ears of her family who are, currently lost, hurting, and desperate. They need hope. They thought they'd be planning and eventually attending their daughter's wedding, not planning how they were going to go across country to find their daughter dead or alive. But this is complex, okay, because I'm a firm believer that just because you're the last person to see someone does not automatically mean you're guilty. I said on this channel that lawyering up is not necessarily mean guilt. It could be, but it's also wise to get a lawyer. However, there's an exception to everything, right? There's always an exception to the rule. And this story is one of those exceptions. 100%. Now, there's not any other plausible theory here. She was last confirmed to be with Brian on this excursion for almost 2 full months. They left together in a van, going state to state, and they should have returned together. There's only, maybe 3 things that come to mind. Either something happened after, spending so many hours and days together in a small, tiny van, and it escalated from tension, and it went a little too far, if you know what I mean. Or 2, there was an argument, and maybe he didn't harm her, but he possibly left her behind, took her phone and left her to basically fend for herself. And maybe she's, so far out wherever he left her that she never made it to a place that she can call her family, or possibly still out there somewhere, but I doubt that because it's been a while now. Or 3, there was an accident on their travels, cliffs, mountains, hiking, etc. These are all the things that they were doing. And instead of reporting it, he panicked and left. Now, that is all speculation. I'm not accusing Mr. Laundrie, but it certainly doesn't look good. One way or another, she was with him exclusively all summer long. No matter which way you try to spin this, it goes back to one person. If it was an accident, it goes back to him. If she was left behind, it goes back to him. And obviously, if things got heated, it goes back to him. I'm wondering if a story will emerge to the effect that they somehow got separated during the hike and he couldn't find her, so left her there. I mean, obviously no one would do that. They would contact the police. But I do wonder if a story such as that will be told. It's really a shame this is happening. If you go to their YouTube channel and their social media accounts, like always, it appears or seemed they were very happy and adventurous. I mean, they were going from place to place and documenting it and enjoying life, in places that most people will never get to see in an entire lifetime. There's just no other explanation here as to why one returned without the other. And because of the many places they traveled, there is no telling where she is. No telling. Big prayers to her family that they get clues or tips that will lead them to their daughter. I'm going to be checking for updates every hour as this is ongoing at this time. This podcast is called Still Speak. In episode 1 of my Summer Wells series, which was the very first video I ever did, I explained why I called it that. And to sum it up, basically, victims do speak to us. We just need to look at the backstory. We got to look at the story in its context. We have to look at the evidence, the people involved, the person's communications, the patterns of behaviors and personalities to find out what they are trying to tell us through that. In this story, Gabby left a very, very good trail of where she was, and we know who she was with. The missing piece here is anyone out there who may have been in these areas at the same time as the couple, who may have seen something or heard something. And of course, Brian is that missing piece that connects the entire puzzle. I would love to know what he told the lawyer that he hired. I'll let you know if anything changes. Until next time, I'll see you soon.